How you guys doing? What I'll do in this video is go over how to make dubstep drum patterns from scratch and give you guys a sneak peek at some of the samples coming out with version 2.5, and I'll be giving some of them away in the members area in your resources section, just like the other bonuses. Before this launches, we're giving you guys a sample set to tease what I'm about to do and to show you guys some of the new samples. So first thing I want you to do, open this up to 140 and our bar count at 4. By the time you guys watch this video, 2.5 might have already been launched, but if it's not, feel free to go grab those samples, import them. I'm assuming you guys already have the basics down, so I'm not going to go over every little step here. I'm assuming you guys have already used the app, know how to use it a little bit, or are somewhat versed with sequencers to begin with, so you can follow along really easily. But just rewind a little bit. 140, 4 bars, click, hold, and drag halfway, and you'll see it snap. Let go, click on edit, and dub drums 1 down to the combos. Dubstep combos are all our new drums, with more to come, and I'll probably be giving you guys a lot of these, not all of them just yet, but enough for you to play with. If you go down to the combos, you'll notice that it's labeled combos because it's 5 kicks and 5 snares, no other sounds. All the other kits have hi-hats and claps and cymbals and crashes, and these are literally all just kick, snare, okay. If you go back to these though, they're regular kits just like the other ones that we have, where they all make sense so that if you lay down a pattern and change it, it'll still sound like it's supposed to sound. So dub drums 1, or if you don't have these new kits, can't import them for whatever reason, just want to wait till our new version pops off, but want to practice for now, you can use any of the other kits. Some of our kits, though they're not dubstep aimed, a lot of these will sound good and like dubstep anyway, as long as your pattern's right. So 140, we're going to audition the sounds. All right, cool, good little kit. That'll be my main power kick, number 2. So draw in. That'll be my snare. So we'll go kick and then skip 2 measures, snare, kick, kick, snare. All right, we should already have a very basic. If you want to offset it, take that last kick and move it over too. Okay, we'll leave it like that. And then the second kick, it's on number 1. We'll turn the volume down 75 or so %. And we'll add a supplementary kick. So we'll go kick, kick, snare, little roll, kick, 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 offset to the snare. Okay, let's see how this sub kick sounds now. Little swing happening over here, it's good. Now we'll move right into the hi-hats. They're very loud, so we'll turn them both down as well. So traditionally with dubstep, the hi-hats carry and also swing and offset the beat. So you have little things like that happening. So the first thing we'll do is actually just lay them in very basic, just so you guys can get a good grasp of how and what happens here. 1 each. It'll sound slow and not interesting yet. Now let's double up on the first half. It'll sound a little more interesting now. And now let's throw a few full fill-ins right in there at the beginning. Starting to sound more interesting. Let's throw a few offsets in. Say 1 here, here. Let's move this guy over, and let's double up here and offset that. Okay, so now it'll be very interesting. Get rid of that last guy and fill in the sub kick, and that'll really bring in the next bar nicely for us. Okay, now that might be a little too much. Let's just do 2 of them. Open hat, we'll just add 1. Excuse me, right there. And already we have a half decent little set of bars going. We can double up the clap on the snares if we want. Actually, I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it open. Love crashes with dubstep. We'll add one right at the beginning. Close this and copy this bar over. Hold down shift, click, hold, and drag, and boom, you now have a copy of it. On the second one, we're going to open that up and now change what we have going on in here, just so that we have variation in our bars and they're not all the same. Okay, so I didn't really predict that. I just kind of randomized it and moved stuff around and thought, all right, this might sound good. Let's audition it. If I auditioned it and didn't make sense, I'd keep moving these around. And you don't have to duplicate what I do exactly note for note. As long as you guys are roughing spots in and understand what's happening layer by layer here, you'll be all right and it'll sound good. Just be creative on your own, and don't worry if you can't, you know, if I'm moving too fast and you're like, wait, what's he doing? Slow down. I got to get that note in. Don't worry. As long as you understand kicks, snares, hi-hats, and timing going left to right, you'll be all good. Okay, so from here we'll grow this out to 8. I'm just going to copy both of these guys over and then move them down one set to the next layer. And on this next layer, I'll open it up and just choose a different set of drum sounds. Say dub power 5. I like that. Let's try this. And then we'll also have to do the same volume treatments. It was number 1 that was quieter. It was the hi-hats. And it was our crash. And the crash is not on this kit. There's a crash. We'll move that down. All right, let's try this now. It'll have a nice drum change up halfway through. All right, this kit's a little bit different as far as the hi-hats go too, so I actually think it'll sound good if it just carries through nicely without too many offsets. And even if there are some, still carry it. And we can turn that up a little bit. This sound is pretty quiet to begin with, and then our ride, actually I'm going to turn that right down. If you want to just hear the second half instead of having to hear the whole thing just to get halfway, turn your loop nodes on and drag them around the sets of bars you want to audition. All right, and this last bar, what I'll do is on the snare, we're going to triplet it. So it'll end with boom, 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 before it loops back around, and it'll sound nice. All right, so already we have an 8-bar set, pretty good patterns, and you guys can get creative with alternating and varying them. And again, if you don't have these new kits, can't import, and just want to wait for the new version, should still accomplish this same type of sound. And the drum sets themselves might not sound perfect, but it'll still make sense and it'll still sound dubstep-ish. Okay, moving on to the next set of layers. I'm going to draw in 2 more bars on layer 3. Open it up. This time go to the second column. You guys won't have all these yet, but I'm going to show you them anyway for now. As of ZZ dash, ZZ dash, these are all dubstep kits, meaning actual wubs, womps, bass drops, shears, scissors, wiggles, tricks. Very, very cool, well put together dubstep sounds. over the years, this has turned into, like, I didn't start DubTurbo, naming it DubTurbo because of dubstep. The word dub means a lot more to me than dubstep. From the older generation, I'm in my 30s, so dub in my days just meant a lot more. It means to record or to overdub. Dub also stands for dub plates. I used to DJ, and we had dub plates, which were records you would press and only be able to play 50 times because the vinyl was shit. So you'd be very selective with when you played it. So yeah, DubTurbo was named for not for dubstep, but over the years it's kind of morphed into being very dubstep aimed based on you guys, based on the audience saying, you know, where's the dubstep sounds? I thought this was for dubstep, and it's made for music in general. But I'm babbling. Let's get back to this. Turn down the volumes. I'm just going to be random with how I lay these, but they're basically bars, half bars, quarter note bars, or quarter notes, and you guys can string them together. I'm going to be random. Let's see if that works. Not bad. We can probably even turn that up a bit. Copy that over and just choose a few different notes. I like that. There, I'll just keep it easy for now. And then for the second set of bars here, I'll change it to a different set of wub-wubs. Wonder if that'll work. Oh wow, I doubled it up. Oops. Okay, so let's get rid of that and that. Oops. Not bad. And then on this last one, I'll change it up yet again. All right, we'll listen to the whole thing once. I hope this was good enough. Just a quick little tutorial for now. A lot more can happen, but I'm going to wait till the next version drops, and then I'll do probably a bunch of actual tutorials for dubstep using up as much layers as we can and adding in other elements. So I'm going to stop after this and then restart at 280 to show you guys double timing and then implement some of the notes on the keyboard as well. These wub-wubs are also applied to the keyboard, so you can actually womp, 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 flex them out and play melodies with each individual little wub instead of stringing together long combos like we're doing up here. This is sort of the short and easy way, and structuring your own wubs, it's a bit more intricate. You'll have to wait till you're a bit more advanced of a user, or if you're already into beat production, at least an intermediate level, then you should be able to structure your own melodies in full tracks instead of stringing together defaults. All right, let's go. One last playthrough, and then we'll go to 280. Not bad. Here we go. 280. Okay, so let's go. Tempo 280. Bar count 4. Pencil tool. Click, hold, and drag halfway. Click on edit. find the dubstep kit you like, or any other kit that you like. This will work. Okay, so before we were at 140 and we went kick, snare, kick, snare. Now that we're at twice as fast, we have to grow this to twice as big. So it'll be kick, snare. So it's now 2 bars has turned into 1 bar. So it's still 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. But now we can fill in twice as many sounds in between those, whereas at 140 we only had half that. So what do I mean by this? Let's illustrate. We'll get the supplementary kick in there, and we'll keep it simple for now. That'll just add like a nice little sort of offset ba-doom on the next loop or on the next bar. And we'll illustrate with the hi-hats here how well you can triplet at 280 and how much more full you can get the track to sound with the little intricate change-ups with the hi-hats. So again, just traditional, normal, boring. Okay, double that up. Oops. And now again, because we're so tight at 280, we can get really cool fills like what I'm about to do here. All right, see how it just rolls nicely for us. That can happen on any of the sounds, and I'll illustrate on the sub kick too. Roll right at the end. Might be much, but just so I can illustrate and you guys can hear it. All right, sounds wicked. And then you can overdo it very easily too, so the right combination and the right amount matters. This maybe we can leave somewhat standard. Maybe even offset some of this. Yeah, it's getting a little bit much. Let's get rid of some of this stuff. Okay, turn it down even a little more. Okay, copy that over, open it up, and just like in the other part of the video, we want to change it up here so it's not so much the same. In fact, what I'll do in this portion is the triplets that I'm so fond of. Triple that, triple that. All right, you hear that nice doom, 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 doom. It's hard to do or impossible to do that at 140. So that's another good thing about doubling it up to 280, where you can do real-time triples at 132. Okay, starting to come together nicely. So what I'll do from here is grow this out to 8. Change up this last bar. I do like tripling up on the snares, except instead of skipping 2 and skipping 2, we have to do double that. So we skip 6. And that'll give us a nice doom, 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 psh, psh, psh. Again with the triples. In fact, we can even get rid of all that. All right, I like it. We'll move on. Go to the next layer, open it up, go right to the wub-wubs. This time I'm not going to be so random. I'll try to actually make something sound half decent, make sense, string something together that I like. That's interesting. Alright, what I'm going to do is take this last guy out, go to the next layer, and have a different accent for the ending off of a different kit. Perfect. So it just adds a nice change up. In fact, what else I'll do is I'm going to open this right up. So now there's going to be no sound in this last half of this bar, and I'm going to take this back out. I'm going to find a sound half as long as that. Perfect. That's the same sound. It'll stop about there, and then I'm going to go on a key layer, or no, actually on a drum layer, just at this last portion. I'm going to find some of the female vocals here and just give you guys an example of a little accent going into an empty spot with a gap that you can throw a vocal in, a little sound, a little something.
Bust it. Got what I need, gangsta.
All right, that'll work.
Gangsta.
So now the beat will sort of stop, go quiet, gangsta will play, and the next set of bars would come in with a nice push, nice drop. So it kind of has a nice little build-up effect to it.
Gangsta.
All right, let's grow the beat out so that you guys can get an understanding of how that's going to sound. Here, what else I'll do is I'm going to change these all to drums, drums, drums. We'll leave that last one. I'll illustrate the combo of the kick, snare, drums next. So we'll go to the combos. Again, these are all just 5 kicks and 5 snares, and I'll just do the leads here. So kick, snare, copy that over, kick, snare, and then here it'll be kick, kick, snare. And here, let's get our loop on and go to this last part now. Maybe you can just audition this kick, kick, kick. Okay, copy those over. I don't have to change kits now because there's so many drums in there. I'm just gonna open this up and go to the next set of kicks and snares. So kick, snare, that's really loud. Let's turn it down a bit. And same thing, kick, kick, snare. Maybe we can even do kick, 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 snare. So it'll be change up. Okay, and we can keep changing it as we move down the timeline. 5 different sets of kick and snare combo drums. And then what we'll have to do is on the next layer, pick something that has really nice hi-hats. Doesn't have to even be a dubstep set. It can be any of these other ones. All right, nice. This will work. Okay, so just like we did with the other bars, we're gonna fill in the hi-hats here, but the drums are already done, right? All we're doing here is filling in hi-hat stuff. So again, we'll just start with basics and start structuring backwards from it. Okay, we'll copy that over. That should do it. Oh, one thing I didn't do is add the crashes, so let's do that. And we'll leave it off on the last one. Okay, so now we have 2 layers achieving our drums. And we're gonna turn those down a little bit. All right, that's good. Okay, and then we'll continue with the wubs. Oops. Open that up. Go to our wubs sections and find something we like. Nice. Except that's also really loud, so we'll just turn that down. What's that? Channel 7. 7. Copy it over. Move it down. Copy it over. And then leave the last one blank because we're going to fill that in. Actually, we can just copy the female vocals over from here to the last part of this and then just give it a different sound. Instead of gangsta,
Gangsta, hey. And I know you. I said no. I said you. I see you.
that's not bad. Let's go with that. Let me rewind that 1 second. That's too quiet. My bad. So we were still missing a half bar in there. Perfect. All right, let's go back to the beginning. This last bit, what we'll do is quickly add a bass tone. That might be too much, and it might fight with some of the wubs bass, but let's try.
Gangsta.
It actually works well, and it's very subtle, and this will only really show or come through on loud systems or earphones that have really low frequency settings that you can get those lows on. The gangsta is a little too loud. Notice that. What are we on here? It's number 4. And then I noticed that on the combo, the snare is really loud too.
Gangsta.
All right, it's working. We're gonna get rid of these last bits of sound.
Gangsta. Gangsta. Gangsta.
All right, we're gonna go 32. We're gonna go back to these drums. And we're going to keep going with our wub-wubs. Make a few drum tracks. Draw in 2 bars. Go to the wub-wubs. What you might be able to get away with is copying some of these wub-wubs over and then simply moving them down one at a time, unfortunately. Oops. Okay, so let's try this again. All right, not bad. And again, we can just reuse the gangsta stuff. The bass, sure, we can bring that over as well. And then for the second half, we can go back to the dubstep combos and now change these to something we haven't used yet. 5 and 6. 5 and 6. 5 and 6. Grab our hi-hats as well, and here we go.
Gangsta.
Grab our wub-wubs, move them over, move them down, and change to wub-wubs again. Let's go right to that and just audition it to see if we got lucky without having to go in there and restructure. I think we already used that kit. Let's try something else. We're going to get rid of that last bar actually. We're going to open up the dubstep combos, leave the snare alone, open this up, leave that alone. Actually, we're going to have a half bar going here with something. And let's change the ICU to something different.
I said you.
Doesn't work too well.
I said no, and I know you. I said no, 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 no. I said no, no. I said no, no.
All right, that's not bad. Okay, without going too much further, there's other things you can do like little drops and rolls with the snares. I'll illustrate the roll just at least once, show you guys what I mean, and then you can change the rolls very easily too. So what I'll do is go to the end. One of the last few kits is a tom kit, if I remember. Yep, toms. All right, we're gonna do something like that. And you put that where the accents are. And then what else we can easily do is on the next layer, choose keys again. Maybe bring this second one down and this second one down. And assign something else to it, maybe like a snare. I'll have a snare roll going downwards. So just find anything in the snare sections of the second column. Sure. Let's turn it down a bit. And just to audition the rolls, let's go from here.
Gangsta.
Nice. Let's try the snares. Let's turn that back up. Okay, it works. Okay, so we'll just do a quick run through once, and from here on out, again, be creative. Oh yeah, I'll also quickly drop this note. We're going to be doing the latter 5 winners of the $5,000 producer contest. The first 4 have been announced, 1 more to go, and then we're going to do part 2 of the contest when 2.5 launches, so you guys have the advantage of using the new kits and some of the new features to build out the contest submissions. All right, so congrats to the first 4 winners, $500 each. 1 more to go to make it 5, and then we have 5 more winners to go. The last of that will be a $1,000 grand finale. Enjoy. Keep rocking with DubTurbo. Peace out.